for liftoff in T-30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at will.
I'm Todd. I'm a paleo-conservative. I'm a strict constitutionalist. I'm also a Christian. First and foremost, above everything else, I'm a Christian. I take matters that are seemingly unimportant to the rest of the nation very seriously. I do that because my God commands me to be in submission to the ruling authorities. In the United States, the ruling authority, the supreme law of the land in an earthly sense, is not the president. It's not Congress. It's not Supreme Court. It's not the governor of the state that you live in. In the United States, the supreme law of the land is the United States Constitution. And beneath that are the constitutions of every individual state. Every elected official exists not to be served, but to serve the people of their state and the people that they are elected by. They are the servants. We are the masters, if you will. And the Constitution is our rule. God, in his providence, has allowed for this in the United States for his purposes and for the good of his people and for the welfare of even those who do not submit to him. That's why this channel exists.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. I can't believe it's been 2 years. 2 years ago today, I launched this channel. I launched the Facebook page and made that video that you just watched. I mean, like, look, I had no idea when I started that morning, and it was way early in the morning too, because I ended up in St. Paul out at the residence that we allow the governor to live in. I ended up there, I think it was about 9 that morning. And so I had time to make and edit that video. Granted, it wasn't very long. It's probably one of the shortest I've ever made. And headed out. I was going to go and I was going to do man on the street journalism. I was going to talk to people that weren't getting talked to by mainstream media, even a month in to Commissar Walls's COOF restrictions. Remember, it was in the middle of March of 2020 when he locked us down and told us we weren't allowed to go anywhere. Told non-essential employees that they had to stay home after he determined who was essential and who wasn't essential. Told people they couldn't see their loved ones anymore. And I have video after video after video of that day of people who were frustrated about what they were dealing with, what they were facing, who were frustrated with the system, frustrated with um, what they saw already as a utter lack of liberty and a lack of ability to exercise their God-given rights, not constitutionally granted rights, but God-given rights to move about and do as they saw fit, and the damage that it was doing to their children, that it was doing to their parents and their grandparents, and how it was hurting their country. And even then, people were saying this is going to destroy our society. It's going to destroy mental health. It's going to destroy our ability to communicate civilly. It's going to demonstrate that we have a massive problem with the fight for liberty in this constitutional republic. And it it grew. It grew. Um, that day, I talked to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I had about 17 different conversations that day with people that I interviewed. And these people were willing to tell me what they were suffering. And I saw many of them over and over and over again at different protests and events and rallies. Some of them I have never seen again. And I wonder where they are. Some of them have been subscribed to my channel since the day that we met. And so you're going to have to forgive me because I'm kind of, as with everything, almost everything that I do is extemporaneous. There's never a script. But what you have to understand is I wasn't ever planning to be where I am today. I wasn't planning to have a webcam or a microphone or this kind of headset. I wasn't planning on having, what I refer to euphemistically as a studio, but others refer to like, so, what's your studio like? And I wasn't planning on any of this. And I darn sure wasn't planning on having a subscriber base. It's almost 1,300 people 2 years into this. I didn't expect that I'd ever get to 500. And when I got to 500, I wasn't expecting I'd reach 1,000. And when I reached 1,000, I didn't think it was going to skyrocket to almost 1,300, which for me is skyrocketing. I know there are people out there that lose that much in a single live stream, but I wasn't expecting any of this. And yet here we are, right? Here we are. And to what end and why? What's changed for me? Do I still believe the things that I said in that video that you watched? Am I still a Christian? I've had a couple of people challenge me on that, question whether or not I'm even really a Christian anymore. Because there have been admittedly times I've said some not so nice things in not so nice ways. And I'm still a Christian. And my content as of late, I've been doing my best to try and reflect that. And it's not always working. I know that. And I need to address that in my own life. I get that. But where am I going? What am I doing with this? Why? You'll have to forgive me. I was looking for a picture because, as some of you know, a couple of weeks ago, I put out a challenge, a contest, for somebody to design me a new banner for my channel, because This is my banner right here. I had somebody step up and they designed me a new banner, and I'm going to show it to you guys. And they're the de facto winner. So because no one else stepped up. Don't know if you guys can see that very well, so let's zoom in. Ask the individual why they designed this image, and she said, because you are no longer under the chains of your now former government employer, and you are helping others break free of those chains as well. So this is going to be the banner going forward. And the individual who submitted this, since no one else cared to take part, which is fine. I'm not upset about it. I was humbled that this person, who I have no social media contact with, but does watch my channel, reached out with this. This is going to be going up on the site to commemorate the 2-year mark of the Minnesota Black Robe Regiment podcast. I'm not going away. To the chagrin of some people, I'm not going to go away. I am going to remain, and mostly because I'm invested. I've been in the fight now for too long, and I have lost too much, but gained a lot. The friends who provided this, the friends who provided this, the friends who provided the camera and the system that I'm working for, the friends who have written the music that you hear, and another friend who's working on another piece of intro and outro music. A friend who is roasting a custom blend of coffee, friends that are making the merchandise, friends, people, real people that I am honored to have met, acquaintances who have become faithful friends, challenges from people who have been friends for a very long time and love me enough to push back on me when they think that I'm on the edge. But no, 2 years ago today, I did not ever expect to have a coffee label or merchandise. And I want you guys to understand what that, like with my podcast on it. For what? Why? Because I didn't want to sit back. Because I didn't want to sit around while I watch my country be destroyed and to lose. What? Lose why? Lose because other people who were supposed to be defenders of the Constitution violated their own oath and turned on me when the right thing for them would have been to defend me. So I've lost some stuff, and it hasn't been easy. But anything that's worth doing, the old saying goes, worth doing right. And nothing that's hard doesn't teach you something. And we all know that. For those of you that have been here from the beginning, I can't thank you enough. For those of you that continue to support me, for those of you that continue to call me friend and ally, I can't thank you enough. For the thousands of people who have watched literally thousands of hours of video, stick around. It's going to keep coming. And my personal story is not done. I just needed to take a break for my own well-being. But my personal story in all of this isn't finished. We've got things in the works. We're going to grow. We're gonna increase platforming, and we're going to continue to hopefully have an impact. And I think we have. Maybe not to the degree that some platforms have, but we're having an impact. And I think we're making a difference. And so all I'll do is I'll ask you to bear with me if you don't like something I say. Push back. If you know people who disagree with everything that I say, tell them to reach out. I'd gladly have them on. Because you see, there's a reality in what's happening with my channel, in that people don't want to engage, and I've tried to figure out why, and I haven't been able to figure it out. But when I go back to that first day, the first moments of me talking to individuals at events, at rallies, at protests, there were all sorts of people there that were on the side of liberty, on the side of freedom, that I was able to talk to. And there were even a couple of individuals, one dressed up as Death. I know who she is now. And then another one, an anonymous doctor, who agreed to talk to me. And since then, getting people who disagree to sit down and talk is incredibly difficult, because they've closed themselves off in their little enclaves, surrounded themselves with people who exist inside of their own echo chambers, and people that won't challenge them. And those of us on the Patriot end, we do that too. I realize there are a lot of people in the Patriot movement that don't like me. I guess I could say I understand, but I don't. I've never betrayed anyone. I've said some things I shouldn't have said, and maybe blurted out some stuff that I shouldn't have at times, but I've never betrayed anyone. And I've never intentionally hurt anyone. And there aren't very many people in this movement in the state of Minnesota that have given up what I've given up. And that's why I'm not going to stop. That's why I'm not going to quit. Because if I do, it will all have been for nothing. So, do me a favor, order some coffee, order some merchandise right now until the end of April. A portion of the proceeds will go to the organization 22-0. And when we're done with the total, Juan from Red American Media is going to step in and match whatever I've raised. And Kim and his wife from Second Generation Creations are going to step in and match whatever I've raised, up to $100 a piece. And we're going to turn that over to the guys from 22-0. We're going to have a special Monday, TC and Friends Monday Night Musings. We're going to have them on to present that final total to them. In the meantime, stay tuned in. Tonight, I'm having my friend Grant, a fellow member of the 82nd Airborne Division. He's a veteran. He's pastoring in a church out on the East Coast. He's going to come on and talk about weak-kneed Christians and their inability to engage in the fight for liberty and the excuses that they make. I've got a really great lineup of guests on my Monday night shows coming up over the next month still. Especially want you guys to pay attention to the 2nd of May. My friend, longtime friend, Robert Reese is going to come on. He's going to talk about government mandates from the perspective of a business owner and an entrepreneur. And then on May 9th, Joshua Slocum from the Disaffected podcast is going to come on, and he's going to talk about his experience moving from the hard woke left to more of what I perceive to be a classical liberal position. And he is going to really kind of lay it out for us and explain to us why a lot of what's happening with some of the indoctrination of our children when it comes to sexual identity and gender theory and sexual theory as it's viewed through the lens of critical theory, why they're so devastating and so damaging. And this is not coming from a person who's disconnected from the conversation. He is intimately involved and aware of these things. So stay tuned in and do yourself a favor. Get outside of your echo chamber and start being a neighbor to people again. That's how we're going to start to change hearts and minds. And remember, there are tyrants on both sides of the aisle. And there are tyrants in every community. And they're just waiting for an opportunity to flex their muscle. So until next time, Sic Semper. You know what? Just this. Until next time. Thank you for 2 really, really cool years.
We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at